Welcome to the Awakening Together channel here on YouTube. This is our Awakening Together weekly gathering. Each and every week we have a different minister who speaks. If you'd like to attend our services live, please visit our website awakening-together.org. Click on Online Sanctuary on the main menu. Then, How to Enter the Sanctuary. Our services are held Sundays at 10:15 a.m. Eastern Time. We'd love to see you in the sanctuary.
Hi, everybody. I want to welcome everybody here to the Sunday gathering. I also want to say that it's Easter. It's Palm Sunday for the Eastern Orthodox. Happy Palm Sunday to those folks. And thank you, Sina. We do have a statement of purpose, and it goes like this. Our purpose. We are an assembly of equals, joined in common purpose, awakening to one true self, within an appearance of many faiths, many cultures, and many symbols. We seek to discern one truth and to rest in its embrace. And we have 5 core values that came from Regina's Heart of Hearts, connected to the Absolute. And I picked core value 2. We realize everyone is equal and no one has been given spiritual intuition that is an authority over the spiritual intuitions of others. We live this value by listening to each other, respecting each other, and allowing each one to be where he or she is. Yeah, that song has great memories for me. And to watch a man, a legend in his still 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 210, 220s. Wow. Wow, what's real can just doesn't go away. You know, I hope I can do today just to listen to the sound and how close it is to silence, and to listen to a man playing his instrument, and until he gets to the devotion that he has in it, where the instrument starts playing him and telling him how to play. You know, and commitment does that too. You know, and we got something similar in our reading today. But first, I guess it's time for me to settle in. Oh, Father, again today, I have no idea the path I'm on right now, but I'm going to trust. I'm giving it all to you to take with it as you please. Use me as your instrument that I may deliver the sounds, the silence, the words, the space in between the words, that you may have all of me to do as you wish, that we may implore your Holy Spirit to be in charge of all our thoughts, feelings, and words, that you may customize our ears to receive in great abundance everything that can come from you to move us forward toward that absolute consciousness that we seek for. Thank you. Amen. Well, today I come to you with heavy heart. You know, I do have a family member pass, heart attack. And you know, we did used to play this song and look up into the sky, and as kids, look at the stars and go beyond where we were. And you know, and that's what we're asked to do here, which it's you know, it's you know, and I found an author that does the same thing, Rumi. So, you know, I've asked Kate to read. I'm going to try to share it. I don't know if I can do this, but I'm going to see if I can put it on. So I can't do it. I don't know how to do it. Anyway.
Yeah, on there, Billy.
Is it on there?
Yeah.
All right, Kate, take it away.
Okay. When I see your face, the stones start spinning. You appear, all studying wonders. I lose my place. Water turns pearly, fire dies down and doesn't destroy. In your presence, I don't want what I thought I wanted, those 3 little hanging lamps. Inside your face, the ancient manuscripts seem like rusty mirrors. You breathe, new shapes appear, and the music of a desire as widespread as spring begins to move like a great wagon. Drive slowly. Some of us walking alongside are lame. Today, like every other day, we wake up empty and frightened. Don't open the door to the study and begin reading. Take down a musical instrument. Let the beauty we love be what we do. There are hundreds of ways to kneel and kiss the ground. Out beyond ideas of wrongdoing and right doing, there is a field. I'll meet you there. When the soul lies down in that grass, the world is too full to talk about. Ideas, language, even the phrase each other doesn't make any sense. The breeze at dawn has secrets to tell you. Don't go back to sleep. You must ask for what you really want. Don't go back to sleep. People are going back and forth across the doorsill where the 2 worlds touch. The door is round and open. Don't go back to sleep. I would love to kiss you. The price of kissing is your life. Now my loving is running toward my life, shouting, "What a bargain! Let's buy it!" Daylight, full of small dancing particles, and the one great turning. Our souls are dancing with you. Without feet, they dance. Can you see them when I whisper in your ear? They try to say what you are, spiritual or sexual. They wonder about Solomon and all his wives. In the body of the world, they say there is a soul and you are that. But we have ways within each other that will never be said by anyone. Come to the orchard in spring. There is light and wine and sweethearts in the pomegranate flowers. If you do not come, these do not matter. If you do come, these do not matter.
I'm going to go back to that because I want to see if I can do that the justice that Carlos did with his guitar. But, you know, some I think it was January 5th, 2020, I did a homily, and it was about the property of water and how it was similar to our evolution, our spiritual evolution, you know, and on how the three properties of water, ice, solid, a liquid, and vapor, and how that is similar to our spiritual path, you know, like the ice. I just want to touch on it briefly. I really went in intense with it in that homily, but you know, ice, the solid, the nounship of our ideas, how things don't move, how we crystallize our concepts and our ideas of God's love, and then they, you know, we go through this process of seeing the action of love and have it be similar to you know, God acting in the world, and being verb-like and being water-like. It's flowing. It's always flowing. It's you know, it's changeless in its movement or non-movement because it's coming from a divine place, but it has that ability to mold and go into objects or surround objects, but never becoming the objects, constantly remaining in its changeless. And then it seems as the more we travel and the more it exists in liquid form, it finds that divine heat, and it starts to go into vapor, and it starts to lose its density, you know, like, you know, it starts to make the world not real. You know, we start to see the duality of things. It just, you know, we get sucked up in, you know, it has a gravitational pull to it, you know, in that emptiness of that empty cup. But even the concepts of that empty cup disappear. It's like it caught up and it just evaporates into that the vapor of the absolute, you know. So you know, that's when I listen to Carlos play his song, you know, play that ballad of and what the notes he hit, and the romantic you know, romanticizing suffering and darkness, and putting light onto it, and you know, like honoring pain and honoring the movement of what we have to go through, and then just completely, you know, open-hearted as the instrument just flew out of his hands. The notes were just flying, and they were connecting to that silence, that the sounds of that silence that exists in us, that melody, that, you know, that, man, we are something else. There is something else, you know. So you know, even, you know, to get to, you know, like we have these little you know, we've got a format on how we, in a curriculum here in Awakening Together, and it's not to be cloned by the, you know, by the curriculum, you know. It's to point us toward the bullseye. And Regina, it waits for the day for us to throw the book away and to jump off that cliff, to make it our own, you know, to live on the other side of that art, that canvas, the bullseye in that canvas, to experience who we really are, and I mean, and to experience that, we don't feel like we've vanished, we learned how to be aware of something, and in the process of becoming the observer of object thinking and being the one, then as we're slowly observing, the personal I gets less and less and less every time, we keep asking the question, well, who is that is watching that? And, even the one that says, oh, that's not real, that's an illusion. Well, even the person who said that is still a dreamer of the dream, but we have a process and we have a curriculum and eventually we dissolve, as we keep asking the question, well, who am I? Well, who is the one that is seeing that? And who is the one that's, well, my kids are a mess, and well, and they keep me up all night, and they just don't behave or whatever. And as we keep asking the question of just being aware, and we get to that place of nothingness, but there's still something there. We don't vanish. It's a place where all our memories and victories and defeats and diplomas are completely whited out. It's empty. There's an emptiness at this, that changeless reality that the Course talks about. That, it's not an object with shape and color. It's nothing. It doesn't come from imagination. It's not a mood. It's not even a feeling. It didn't arrive. We didn't create it. It's not being kept there by any force. It just always is. Sometimes I talk to it. I talk to it in the car. Okay. And after I bypass the ego, but who is that's trying to bypass the ego? It's still a personal I. But that changeless reality that it doesn't fade, doesn't disappear, it doesn't get sick. It's always there. It's never depressed. It's not an angel. It's not even a place. When you get to know it, you ask the question, was it born? Can it die? I don't think so. I don't even want to think. It just is. It's there. That changeless reality, can it reject anyone? No, it can't reject anyone. Does it belong to a particular religion? No. Does it have a name? How close can you get to it? Is it over there? No, it's right here. Is it over there? Is it steps away? Can you separate from it? It's always been there as far as I can remember. I didn't create it. It has no limits. I prayed to it when I saw my limitations in the body, of trying to relieve myself from a drink and a drug when I couldn't stop. I prayed to God, but then there was the space beyond God that just existed. That, you know, I mean, I went through the process of first telling God how big my problems were, and then I changed that around and said, I'm going to tell my problems how big God is. And, you know, and then that fulcrum, that, you know, the seesaw became lopsided. You know, as the trust grew, and now I'm looking, and now I'm pointing to, I've pointed toward God my whole life, and I know there's a beyond this. There's you know, I can, you know, if I'm going to live in this dream, then I'm going to live it knowing what I know. And I can do both. I mean, I can't do it all the time, but I'm the witnesser. I can see, I can witness from a distance, that I can see the objects and not become the objects. So let me go back to that.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. Let's see. I do want to just have a little moment of silence for my brother, who was, you know, he wasn't, I don't know if it was, I don't even know, because of the possibility that we were blood, but we grew up together. And, you know, and to get the news that someone had passed, you know, and we had drifted, you know, it's been over 40 years since we've sat down together and been together. And you know, I'm going through the part of me that's saying, geez, there was a conversation that we didn't have. I guess I need to have it now, you know, in my time alone that I'm going to share with him. But when I see your face, the stone starts spinning. You appear, all studying wanders, and I lose my place. You know, you ever been there? You know, you're just being captured by that, the love of the presence of, you know, we find it in someone's face, but, you know, but in that moment, even all my preconceived notions, my prejudgments, everything I thought I knew and I taught myself about how to love is gone. I lose myself. I lose my starting place. You know, and the more I wrote, you know, when I was writing, I used to write every morning. I wrote for 7 years. I heard Regina say that too, and I wrote for 7 years too. You know, and I was following a script called The Artist Way. You know, and I don't know, I think it was back in it was 93, 94. And I used to write, she said we had all these chattering monkeys in our heads and we couldn't quiet the mind. And we had to write them down. We had to write down what was 3 pages every day, nonsense, you know, whatever. Just put it down so we could, you know, and within 10 days to 2 weeks, you were speaking to the well. And then you could ask questions. But to remove all that, the chattering, like, you know, why do I got to do this? And, you know, can I do this every day? Can I get my cup of coffee now? Can I go to the bathroom? Well, all the things, whatever it was, it didn't matter what you wrote, just get it on paper. And for some reason, the mind started to quiet. And my starting place of where thoughts, the origin of thoughts inside me changed, you know? And I could see where they were changing, you know, as the more I wrote. You know, and I don't know, I fell in love taking this poem apart, and the way Kate read it, it was incredible. I mean, she was Carlos all over it. You know, it was great. It was wonderful. But so, you know, the water turns pearly, fire dies down and doesn't destroy. You know, and you know, you ever, like, you're just dancing in the midst of, you know, like, I am the flow and the glittering and the sparkle of I am the river. I am consciousness. I am the witnesser. I am awareness. And when I am awareness, the fires of the mind die down. We don't use the mind to torture ourselves anymore. We instruct the mind on how to think. We tame it like a wild horse, a bronc. But that's just before. And then we let it go. Into awareness, watching awareness. That's how it's happening for me. That's how it's happening for me. So, in your presence, I don't want what I thought I wanted. Those three little hanging lamps. Boy, does everything change when you sit with it for a while and you're in your presence. You're in that presence. You know, ever sit in the presence of the divine witnesser? You're a new starting place where everything begins. Try to and stay there. You know, where all your ideas just come and go, and they lose their grip on your selfish, imposing righteousness. Those three little hanging lamps, the form that I don't want the external world. You know, a moment to a moment escape from the world where I see the face, and now I want to be free. I want to be free. I want the peace of God, and to say it is one thing and to mean it is everything. You know, the hanging lamps of everything what I thought I wanted, everything I thought I wanted was in here. Was some way it was in here, and I got seduced by the mind that it was out there. Those three hanging lamps could be many hanging lamps, I originally thought, the more I thought about it, I originally thought that they were the new trinity of the love, the lover, and the beloved, but it was, it was my motivation, that inner gravity of wanting freedom more than anything else, So inside your face, the ancient manuscripts seem like rusty mirrors. Inside your face, the ancient manuscripts seem like rusty mirrors. Boy, I'll tell you, there are so many ways to look at that one. The face of the most beautiful, the face of a lover, the face of gratitude. But, all the past memories of letting go of everything I taught myself and actually seeing the contamination to the letting go, to letting love just stop contaminating. Just let love be itself. Can I get out of its way? Can I let that happen? Can I just be? Can I be the witnesser? So I can enjoy my joining of the harmonious symphony that's going on. We hear it. I can't talk about it. It's there. You can feel it. Everything's okay. We're being cared for. Your breath, new shapes appear. And the music of a desire as widespread as spring begins to move like a great wagon. Drive slowly. Some of us along the way are lame. Wow. Going through that whole specialness part of the course, thinking that you're special, you've got the course under your arms and nobody else got it. And, what a great thing. And, the specialness of a spiritual vessel, a spiritual instrument. And then it tells us to throw it away. Wow, was that magnitude? Can you breathe in and ignite the innocence to the flow of that? To the flow with? Breathe into the innocence or the flow with me as love, with the momentum that spring just seems to bring around, that spring's invisible, vital force. You feel it. You know what's happening. You know what's there. You don't see it in flowers yet, but the movement is, the growth is happening. Down the river into the newness of the unknown. Can I get out of its way? Can you hop on board now? Because as we drive slowly, we forget no one. We're all coming. Core value 2. Today, like every other day, we wake up empty and frightened. Don't open the door to study and begin reading. Take down a musical instrument. Let the beauty we love be what we do. There are hundreds of ways to kneel and kiss the ground. Wow. You know, I sat in bed this morning and I go through this process. I wake up empty. And I'm sitting in that. I'm created perfectly right at this moment, and I'm not I'm not talking about it, I'm in the just is of that, And then the wobbling moments start to show up, okay? And they want to play, where the body mind is don't open the door to yesterday's knowledge. Don't just look at that instrument on the wall. Don't look at that instrument. Take it down. Take down that instrument. Remove it from its noun chip. Let it not be an obstacle. Let's turn it into a verb. Become the melody of love, of what we are. There are so many ways to surrender, to get to zero, to who I truly am, to where we get to that other side of commitment because we emptied. And that other side of commitment has it, it's where the effort leaves and the effortless takes over. And what the other side of commitment, like, when I went, I don't know how many of you saw the Octopus movie, of George's Octopus movie, or Andy's, whoever it was, but, to see the beauty of the other side of commitment, a man going into that freezing water without a wetsuit, holding his breath, but to see, he didn't know what he was going to find. You take that instrument off the wall, and in the commitment alone, to be an awakening together is its own commitment. Let it take you. You might be going uphill, but that uphill is gonna crest, and then you'll be on the downside of commitment. You'll be downhill, and it takes you from there. You'll end up throwing the books away, and you'll find yourself out beyond the ideas of wrongdoing and right doing. There is a field, and I'll meet you there. Wow. That's that telescope thing that I had going on. You take that telescope and you turn it around the other way, and it sees smaller. And you look at wrong and right from a great distance while you're in the field, of I'll meet you there. Can your mind watch the mind? That's what we do. Mind watches the mind, and it creates a distance from the accountant's wrong and right doing ledger. And we learn how to go beyond right and wrong, and we can see both and hold both, and know they're there without being attached to them. But I'll meet you in the field. I'll meet you in the field. I have no neutral thoughts. I think that's 12 in the Course. Or 16, I think it's 12. And it doesn't matter. When the soul lies down in that grass, the world is too full to talk about. Ideas, language, even the phrase each other doesn't make sense. Can you just visualize it? If I came to the grass in a soul, it would be easy. Soul, and then I wouldn't have to think about a body, but I'm here in a body, and I'm gonna, let my soul lie down in the grass. It's the soul without a body, mind in the grass. It's like the air. The air, which is the same air that's in a bottle. But now remember, we don't have to agree with the bottle. Freedom. Such freedom. The breath coming from the love of we are, without ideas and language, without an other. Oneness. Yeah, oneness. How dare you tell my body it can sin now? after just swimming in that for a while. We speak of Mary Magdalene on Tuesday nights, and the things that she had to go, things that she went through as a woman, and being trained now through Awakening Together how to read in between the lines and the space between the words, and taking it apart. And here a woman got what Jesus was saying, but she didn't, but no one was going to listen to her because she was a woman. And even the disciples were, you can see the sarcastic remarks. Well, what would have been sarcasm, but they're coming across. It comes across differently today. I mean, yeah, back then, the way it's being transcribed, and to have Mary Maggs not identify with the personal I, the personal identity. She's constantly being reminded that she's an adulteress, she's a prostitute, and she is way above that battleground. She is in that total freedom, without the body, without, she's lying down in that grass, where it's just her and the oneness. And she starts to deliver after Jesus leaves. This is where we are in our session. Now Jesus is gone, and the disciples are now left up to their self, and they all shrink, and they're petrified because they got to go out into the world. And who's giving them instructions now? Max. And it's great. It's great. But the breeze at dawn has secrets to tell you. Let's get back to this. The breeze at dawn has secrets to tell you. Don't go back to sleep. You must ask for what you really want. Don't go back to sleep. People are going back and forth across the doorsill where the two worlds touch. The door is round and open. Don't go back to sleep. Wow. The breeze at dawn, it's like the womb of emptiness, it's like the unthinkable state that rests in the vastness of the uncreated light with the infinite possibilities available. The personal I, your identification shows up, wobbling back and forth. What do you really want? You want the limitations of the person? Of personhood? Unworthiness? Victimhood? Don't go back to sleep. You know, I stayed in this place. I had my lemonade stand at that door sill. You know, people go back and forth across the door sill where the two worlds touch, balancing the levels of reality. You know, realizing that earth unfolds its properties and the powers in union with heaven, aloft above us. We can have both. Yeah, you know, where the heart is one and the being is one, the will is one, and the God is one. You know, it's a divine thought, but we live somewhere in the middle of that. Nisargadatta has a quote, but we're somewhere in the middle there, you know, where that is, you know. But the favorite part to me is in this thing is the door is round. My God, as soon as it said the door is round, and I just, you know, I everything's a circle to me, you know. Everything is comes full circle in the bottom realm. There's so many levels to reality, but you know, like what, you know, this is where the first is the last and the last is the first, and you know, what is 220 on the circle more important, or came first before 270? You know, it didn't. So it's all, you know, this is the alpha omega. The door is round. Door is, let's invite you into the, you know, into this unbelievable reality, this changeless reality. Across the door still, you know, where the two worlds touch. You know, the door is round. The aura of the circumference of the outer edge. There is no birth or death. There's no beginning. End is, you know, it's, you know, it's incredible. You know, all the behaviors that, you know, that we exhibit, you know, all our behaviors that we exhibit from the state of personhood by now must be revealing that we're living some kind of misperception about our self-knowing. You know, something's, you know, something needed to change, and where I put my focus on, you know. You know, you know, I am is nothing appearing to be something and enjoying both. You know, there's, you know, I said a lot today. I mean, I could translate this thing till the cows come home, and I love doing it. And I hope I didn't bore you to death. But what I did want to bring across is the silence between the words, the knowing that bubbles up when you're quiet, the direction, the you know, the unfolding, just the quiet. You know, we had the concepts of I am as God created me, and they pointed us to the arrow, to the bullseye. And now there's a different song that's playing. And we can play it too. So I'm going to let go of the mic. I want to thank you guys for listening to me today. I hope I wasn't too in the esoteric, but Awakening Together's primary form of income is donations. And the link is in the chat. And we recommend going within and asking guidance. And if you are prompted to donate, then the link is in the chat. And I guess there's just a couple minutes if anybody wants to say anything. I want to thank everybody for listening to me. It's a great platform for me to get me to express myself and where I am in the awakening process, and just grateful that there is, that we just have a place to come to and to get emotionally naked in our process of how it's coming to us, and honor the struggles and giggle and and make light of it, and yeah. So I'll let go of the mic.
You've been watching our online gathering. It happens weekly on Sundays at 10:15 a.m. Eastern Time. To join us live in the sanctuary, visit our website, awakening-together.org. You'll want to click on Online Sanctuary in the main menu, and then in the drop-down menu, look for How to Enter the Sanctuary. Right there at the top of the page is a clickable link. We'd love to see you in the sanctuary and join with you in fellowship. Thank you again for watching. Also, please know that if you'd like to stay connected via the Awakening Together channel here on YouTube, you can subscribe and hit the bell for more notifications. We hope to see you in the sanctuary.